Euro US dollar cross rate, we're going to look from long-term to short-term. So we're looking at a yearly profile to a quarterly profile to a monthly, weekly, going from right to left. We like to put the longest term profile on the right-hand side and then work our way down to the left, kind of opposite that most people use it, because the charts flow to the right, your eyes want to move to the right, and we want to concentrate and focus on the longer term stuff. Long-term overpowers short-term, and most traders make the mistake by looking at too small of a time frame, and they don't know what's going on in the big picture. So we want to see what's going on over here on the yearly, and you can see right now the market is being blocked at the 1.45792 area, which is the top of the persistence zone on the year. You're in between the pivot at 1.39066 and the top of the PZ 1.45792. You got strong support here, strong resistance here is causing a wedge in here, a range-bound movement throughout the smaller time frames. Where you got the resistance at the 1.45792 area, it's very close to the pivot area. So once this market broke back below the ZoneTrader pivot there at 1.45162, we can begin selling it as it's attempting to make a bearish breakout on the quarter, which we look for it to head down towards MS1, and we look for a candle body close below the midpoint between MS1 and MS2. So right now it's attempting to make a bearish breakout on the quarter, which corresponds with that resistance off the top of the PZ and the selling action. So by combining the two, we can say we're seeing resistance from the top of the persistence zone. We expect to push the market back down towards the pivot. Then we see the market fall below the pivot here on the quarterly. We expect to attempt to make a bearish breakout. It's giving us sell signals on both time frames. Now we come down to the monthly, and you can see that the bears are in control of the market here. On the month, we tested the top of the PZ. It's not going above the top of it and holding the time filter. The bulls are failing to take control of the market there. And then it breaks back below the persistence zone, and you can see that trend line sets you up right there as this market is attempting to make a bearish breakout as well on the monthly. So you have the market making a bearish breakout on the monthly and the quarterly at the same time, alignment in both directions. Alignment in the same direction on both time frames there, giving us the sell signal. And then you get a lower swing high here, which you got the resistance from the bottom of the PZ. Again, the bears are in control of the market here, and that turnoff could have caught a second leg down here. Now we're approaching the midpoint between MS1 and MS2, where we need to see a candle body close below the midpoint, which is 1.41120 on that monthly profile. The close of this candle higher is suggesting right now that this is failing to make a bearish breakout, and we may be seeing the start of a reversal in the euro currency. I'd look for buys in that area off the top of that prior candle, which is going to be 141,581, 141,581. Okay, so look for buys in that area. And then this should start pushing back up towards the pivot on the monthly profile. We'll need to see the daily start pulling up too. This is a daily candle on the quarterly, and start seeing this push up towards the pivot as well. If that happens, what you're seeing that's going to happen, what's going to occur here is you're going to get an upward sloping trend line in here on the daily chart, and we may be the start of another attempt at a bullish breakout on the yearly. So we are range bound here. We're trying to shift the trend back up here as well as on the monthly. The weekly made a strong run to the downside based on the movement you're seeing here on the monthly. We went down all the way down here and extended the trend by getting a candle body closed below the midpoint between MS3 and MS4. We look to sell the first retracement, and you can see here the next wave down has to go below MS4 and hold the time filter, and it's getting blocked right here. So right now, this thing is failing to break out of profile 1 on the weekly, and we should start reversing towards the pivot, which is 143,750, 143,750. So that's a good target to the upside right now if you're looking for buys at that 141,581 area with a target up near 140. Failing to break out of profile 1, we expect it to revert back to the ZoneTrader pivot, which is 143,750. So right now, you got to be cautious to the downside on the euro. The run may be done, and we may be shifting trend back up here. So be careful in this market. Start looking for buys and play it up towards the 143.750 area. Once it gets there, then we become balanced on the week, and then we'll know where to go from there. We'll look to make a follow-up video or something to keep you informed of where we're at and what the ZoneTrader model is continuing to suggest as far as the future movement of this market.